Well, here we are, 4 Oak Street, first day of the new year, and I've been doing some weathering of the ballasting. So I have now finished the weathering with rail grime. Sorry, I should say sleeper grime. I'm not sure if I'm really happy with it. It's a bit dark. Possibly should have gone with doing the rails before the ballast, but it's come out reasonably well. So I bought myself an airbrush, a Chinese one, and a compressor, and this is the result so far. So I've done all the station right through to the tunnel at the south end of the station. Everything runs fantastic. Unfortunately, the airbrush that I used is one of the cheap Chinese ones, so I'm not 100% happy with it, but you can see here, looking at the station throat, I suppose it's being the early 60s, wooden sleepers, fairly dark, rusty, going into the ballast. So I've done into the station, into the tunnel mouths right through, and then up towards the 2 viaducts. I've also completed the station engine shed area, which is concrete, which took a lot of work, putting in cardboard. All that runs really well, so quite happy with that. Now I'll just see if I can bring that Pullman back. So recall 6, stop, change direction. That's sitting in the Helix at the moment, so it's just going to be coming through. The tunnel has into the Helix has come out quite good in terms of it's pretty dark. I've extended the actual semicircle into the tunnel to try and give it a bit more depth. So you can hear now the Pullman, which I've been running a bit, trying to run it in. It's certainly running a lot smoother now. I've got some of the cat hair out of it. It's a big Helix, 4-track, so I think it's about 7 turns. So it should be coming any time now. It's actually going in the wrong direction at the moment. So I'll just move around the other side. And I'll just bring the other loco so you can see how that would look running out of the station. So this is pulling, I think, about 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And here comes the Pullman going the right way through the station. I'll just come around now. Stop. So this is the lid to the Helix that I built, which has 2 handles so it can be removed. So you can see the Helix here. So the Pullman is running around that at the moment. It's a 4-track Helix. There's the lighting panel. So here's a different view. So you can see the engine shed area, and that goes right back into the engine shed. Have to add some lights. So just moving on a little bit, you can see another view of the weathering. So what's going on under that's the storage area. So that will hold on the longest tracks. It will hold the 9 coaches. So that's the Pullman now making its way back up the Helix. So what I've tried to do on the baseboard joints is make it as neat as possible. So the idea is you can't see the join is the plan. So when I was weathering the track, I used a little tiny piece of cardboard that I put on the inside of the point blade, and a couple of pieces on the part of the point blade that wasn't against the other line, and it worked really well. So it meant that I haven't had to clean any of the point blades, just use the track rubber to get the to get the excess paint off. So you can see a bit more weathering here. This is the south tunnel entrance, so I've got to build the tunnel. Here will be a bridge, road bridge, then there'll be a road coming down into the car park behind the station, and then on a higher level will be all the shops and buildings, going right back up to a big housing estate of terraced houses on the here comes the Pullman. That's running the right way at the moment. So it takes a good few minutes for it to go around. Back out of the tunnel and then across to the viaduct. I'll just grab the control because I will need to stop it. Whoops, and as you can see, what happened is that it came off the end of the track. So one day this will continue right around from the two viaducts, right around this messy games room, right across to that side, and then loop back around and come back to the main section, which is here. So I'm just going to start the Pullman. Whoops, we have a slight derailment. Let me just fix that up. Yes, we've still got that slight derailment, which I can see is at the back of the car. Right. Away we go again. Express speed. So I've got all the locos back out, and I've been having a bit of a running session, just making sure they're all running good. The layout hardly gets run, so generally once I've done, I suppose, a project like the weathering of the track and the ballasting, I then give it all a clean, get all the rubbish off the boards, all the bits and pieces that I use, and give them all a run. So a couple of things that I found particularly useful in the ballasting process, which I find is about a 3-step process in terms of ballasting. I use these little bottles for all the touch-ups. These are really good. Mix the PVA with water and washing up liquid, and it's very easy just to touch up little bits. So in terms of the Airbrushing compressor, that's the compressor that I bought. I think it's an AS186. Paid about 100 Australian dollars for it, and then bought a Chinese airbrush, which has been interesting to say the least, in terms of lots of clogging and cleaning, and been quite a good learning curve, I suppose you might say. So the next plan is to start thinking about the roads. So from the housing estate, the road that will come on a retaining wall at the back of this car park, cross over this this bridge here. I'm thinking about having a power station here. The road will then continue at the side of the track and then disappear under the what will be an embankment through a road tunnel, and then come out and cross the river by the viaducts. So lots of work to do. I suppose I'm trying to do everything as best I can. So I've been on this now, I think about 7 years. So lots and lots to go. I really enjoy looking at everybody's layouts coming on, Blackwood and layouts like that, and get a lot of inspiration from Dave at Dean Park Station, even though that's double O gauge, but certainly is doing things the way that I'm trying to emulate, I suppose. So that's it. So hopefully the next time there'll be a bit more progress. So until then, have a happy new year and all the best from Perth, Australia.